Hi and welcome my channel. My name is Carsten. I'm talking about music and this is what I've been listening to for the past couple of days, maybe a week or so. Let me start out. I was listening to a couple of Norwegian bands and one of them is called Wobbler. Now, what is Wobbler? Wobbler is a band founded in 1999. It's a progressive rock um, band that has this inspiration from PFM, the Italian guys, King Crimson, Gentle Giant, Yes, ELP. They have made 6 studio albums from 2005 to 2021, and I think they are on later edge. Uh, and the one I listened to is the one from 2015 that was Silence to Somewhere. I have downloaded the other ones on Spotify, so that's what I'm going to listen to. Now, then I've listened to another Norwegian band called Magic Pie, and this album I listened to a couple of times was Fragments of the Fifth Element from 2019, which is their latest album. Now, who is Magic Pie? That's another Norwegian band within the prog rock scene, but their inspiration is of course taken from other bands, mainly Deep Purple, yes, Spock's Beard and Flower Kings, and so far they have made 5 albums. This is the one I listened to was their latest, but I can really recommend both of these bands because they have been really fantastic in their compositions. So really, if you haven't heard about these bands or you haven't listened to these bands, please go and see if you can find them on your streaming services. Now, another band I've been listening to is Doobie Brothers Liberty. This is their newest album. It's from 2021 and it's really recommendable. It has catchy tunes, it has the guitar riffs, it has everything that Doobie Brothers is known for. And if I remember right, it's their first studio album in 7 years. Really, really recommendable. It's on my wish list to send. Now, Molly Hatchet's Floating Alive. Now, I like that album because the latest show I was attending was actually when Wally Hatchet visited my hometown here, Flensburg, Germany, in December 2019, and they played here live, and it was a very, very good concert. It's Southern rock when it's best, and listening to that album put old memories up. So Molly Hatchet Flirting Live is the album. Next one is I was watching the Thanksgiving football game between Dallas Cowboys and Las Vegas Raiders. Unfortunately, the wrong team won, but that's another story. But in the halftime show, they had a guy called Luke Combs, and I like that. And I went straight to Spotify to find out what type of music it was. So I listened to the album What You See Ain't Always What You Get from 2020 or 21, and that's really a great musician. I like it a lot, so I'm looking for to find more about Luke Combs. I've seen that he has a lot of albums, so I'm trying to get some of them. Now, of course, we had the 30-year anniversary of Metallica's Black Album, and there was a documentary in the television about how it came about. So this is what I listened to on Spotify. Metallica Black Album. This is the CDs of my own collection that I've been listening to, and I will start out with some of the one I bought last week, which is Doobie Brothers Brotherhood. I like them. I mean, they have a lot of good tunes on it, as the music is good, Showdown, Rolling On, Under the Spell. It's just a couple of the tunes on this album. So this is Doobie Brothers' Brotherhood, and for a couple of weeks back I bought this one, Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin, and I've been listening to it a couple of times, and I'm still agreeing with people that says it's the best album that Led Zeppelin made. For me, it might be that Led Zeppelin 4 could be in the same category, but it's a very, very good album. Double CD, Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti. Now, beginning of November, ABBA's long-awaited album came out, and you don't get it. You will not be disappointed about it. Of course, people know the first two tunes on it, but the rest of the album is typical ABBA. Good pop music, and the voices of both Anna Fried and Agneta are still great. So I can only recommend people to go listening to ABBA and The Voyage. So now to something a little bit different. The new album from Dream Theater, From the Top of the World, and it's a great album. Especially I like the title track, A View from Top of the World. 20 minutes 24 seconds, very, very nice. But also Sleeping Giant, Waking the Masters, and so forth. It's really a good album, and to me it's most likely the most accessible of all Dream Theater albums. But I can greatly recommend you, if you haven't heard it, to buy Dream Theater and A View from the Top of the World. Now I've got this one, Tarkus from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and for me it's, together with Pictures of an Exhibition, the best ELP album of all time. It's a great album, it's great music, and I really enjoyed that album. Listened to it a couple of times, and it's really great. I've always been a great fan of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I've seen them live back in the 70s, but this one is really, really a great album. Now to something totally different. Here comes Cecilia Batley, the opera singer, a portrait. I have another CD with her where she sings some duets from various composers, but this is also a list of classic music, and she's really a great artist. Here's the booklet that it's in here. This is from 1997, and she's still fantastic. She has a fantastic voice, and as someone who grew up with opera on a daily basis, because my mother was an opera singer, I really enjoy Cecilia Batley. She and Anna Tchaikovsky is two of my favorite opera singers. Next one, Marillion, and I've been trying to say this correctly, but it's called Anorachnophobia, and it's from 2001. Still, it's a good Marillion album. I liked it a lot, and it has a lot of good tunes on it. But it's typical Marillion, and I still think that even though Fish left them back in the 80s, they are still doing a very good job. Well, I can't have a month without getting some cancers, and this I took when I went back to 2020 and took out this one, The Absence of Presence, which was my album of the year 2020, and I still like it. I have listened to this at least 50 60 times this year, and I still like it a lot. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite bands, and this one is a fantastic studio album with a new lineup. Then we go back in time. This time we go back to Jethro Tull, and this is a remastered version of Aqualung, and it's a great album. I mean, this is Jethro Tull have made a lot of albums, and you got, of course, the title track, but also the rest of the songs are very good. And on this one you got 17 tracks, some bonus tracks on it, so really recommendable. It's the first Jethro Tull that I got, but it's not the last. I'm looking for a couple of others, among them Thick as a Brick and the one with the horses. Now, as I told you a couple of days ago, I saw a movie where the guy is standing in a minefield, and it said click, and he knows that if he moves the foot he will go out in a blast. So he starts to do his favorite thing he always wanted, and that was to sing Take Me Home Country Roads. That's inspired me to buy John Denver's Gold Collection, and it's a great album. I back in the days I liked John Denver a lot, and I think it has all his great songs and tunes on it, so it was worth investing in John Denver. Now I got another Dream Theater album, Octavarium. Again, it's Dream Theater. This time was Mike Portnoy was still back banging the drums, and that you can really hear on this album, but it's really a great album. Recommendable. Octavarium, Dream Theater. Back to the classic music. I bought this one from Edward Elgar and his Pomps and Circumstances. Actually it's called Marches, and but the most famous of these marches are of course Pomps and Circumstances, especially March number 1, which is the music to Hope and Glory. Land of Hope and Glory, sorry. It's a good album. It's if you like classical music and you like Elgar's, and it's always reminding you when you play this one, number 1, The Land of Hope and Glory, on the last of the trumps in London Albert Hall. Last not but least, I bought this one, The Nice, and people will ask, who are the Nice? Well, if you look over there, you see this guy. You might recognize him. It's Keith Emerson, who later formed Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This is his first commercial band success, so to speak, and The Nice was founded in 1967 or early 1968, and it lasted to mid 1970s when Keith Emerson left the band and founded Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Now the music on this one is co-written with David O'List, and but also the other guys are contributing with the music, especially on the number where they on this one called The Source of Emilus Daft Jack, and that was O'List, Davis and Jackson. So all of them put this song together. It's 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Now Nice is inspired by classical music, rock music and jazz, and of course you find the interpretation of various classical music by Keith Emerson, and the same is done here when he does the intermezzo from Carillia, from Sibelius, and the other one he is interpreting is Stephen Sondheim, who passed away this week. America from West Side Story. So it's a great album. if you like progressive rock music. It's a little bit different from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, because he doesn't use he's playing piano and organs on this. There's not Moog synthesizers, which he used in Emerson, Lake and Palmer, nor Mellotron's. So it's really a great album. The nice intermezzo. And that was all from this time. So thank you for listening.